standing here with the owner of Don't Toss the Bouquet, Krista Morris. Krista and I met recently, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to highlight her business and show us around. So tell us a little bit about how you started, how the business came to be, and then let's take a quick tour.
So I do have a pretty cool story. I'm one of those companies who started at the dining room table.
Okay, cool.
All I ever planned to do this was as a gift. I'm a college professor. I have many degrees.
Oh wow, I didn't even know. Nice.
And I was a full-time college professor, and I teach English. I know where all my commas go. It's all about the details when you read literature, right? And that's my forte here, is listening to those details and remembering them too. So, and understanding the symbolism of them. When all my friends were getting married, so we were all kind of like in the wedding planning mode together. I was trying to think of a really good gift, a thoughtful gift to give to all my friends, and I saw that there's this thing called flower preservation. So I looked into not personally doing it, but to send the bouquet away.
Okay.
And it was about $1,200 for a tiny shadow box, not even the sizes that we do now.
Yeah.
And that was just too expensive for me to do for myself. I'm really stuck on doing that. Like, this is what I wanted to do. So I went to Costco. Okay. And I would buy roses at Costco, and I would practice on Costco roses. I could only do roses, but luckily back in the day when we all got married, that's pretty much all we really did. So, and then I'd go to each of my girlfriends' showers with a poem that I wrote, which is now our gift card poem, and it said, "I'm gonna save your flowers," and I'd make like this really terrible little shadow box. I would go to like a craft store and just buy a little one, and I would glue in the mock roses that I like experimented on.
Cool, yeah.
And that's how it started.
When I first heard about your company and when we first met, like, I knew it was a flower preservation company, and then when I heard Don't Toss the Bouquet, I was like, oh, I didn't really think much of it. And then like as a guy, you don't really think about that.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, I get it now. Literally, don't toss the bouquet. I was like, oh, now it makes sense.
People would see the bouquets at other people's houses and be like, who did that? And they'd send them to me.
Yeah.
So you'd come to my dining room table and you would ask, like, you'd give me $53 for my supplies. That's how many, and I would go and run and buy the supplies for each bouquet.
Wow.
And this is where I realized I had like a company on my hand. Was a woman who was a mom of a friend, so I didn't know them. She said she wanted a receipt. Oh.
Well, yeah. Making it a little bit more formal.
Right. So I wrote this really lame receipt, like signed it, and I handed it over, and my husband made fun of me, and he was like, you need to step up your game.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And as soon as he says that, I'm like, I need to step up my game. But still never really intend to be like a business. Like I was still gonna be full-time professor. There was just no intent. And then I had my first son, and I went back to work, and I actually really struggled. I can't even like talk about it. He was a Velcro baby. So I couldn't shower, I couldn't put him in the car, I couldn't break contact with him. So he didn't eat when I went to work. So I would drive home frantically, and I was like, this can't be my forever.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
So in the middle of the night, I would hold him and rock him, and the same website that you guys all went on to was the website I created in the middle of the night.
One arm here,
one arm
here.
typing with just this intent on, I need something different in my life.
Well, show us around. So tell us a little bit more. So it's not just the flower preservation with the weddings. I see there's a ton, but I see a lot. I see ornaments in the corner over there.
Yeah.
I see a lot going on here. Tell us a little bit more about what you guys do here.
So we do try to support other small businesses. So a lot of these things over here you're seeing are other small companies who make crafts and
one of my favorites
items.
is the coloring books.
Yeah, so this is our Patchogue Village coloring book from Kristen. She's Underdog Nation. So she actually went to all the different Patchogue companies and made a whole coloring book. We actually have IVF and fertility gifts too, which make a big difference for people who are going through that and see something in the store. Okay. And then a lot of over here are grief gifts, because we do sad flowers. Okay. So obviously that has what we're also known
Absolutely.
for.
Absolutely. And then there's some ornaments over here, which I love. So like you can give out gifts too.
So we're actually the only company I think in America who have no minimum. So someone can come to our company after a very expensive Long Island wedding and just get an ornament. But these are also a lot of sad ones too.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, we have ornaments, and now also known for our resin, which is very trendy right now.
Okay, yeah.
And a lot of people are super excited that we're gonna do it. So this is a really cool, it looks like glass, but it's all polymer.
Wow.
It's a very slow and patient process.
Oh yeah.
And then the other thing, we're really known for our coloring of the flowers. So
Okay.
a lot of people dry the flowers and we'll give them back to you, but we take a really long time because we re-dye them.
Okay, cool.
So purple flowers will stay purple instead of go brown over time.
Okay.
We take the flowers right away from when we get them and then we dry them.
Okay.
We use a silica process, but I just now have a whole room now of machinery, which will be our freeze dryers, which is a whole new ball game of drying flowers.
Any family member could just bring the bouquet to you. So
Yep, so we do everything by appointments. Drop them off. A lot of times we do meet mom, dad, or bridesmaid. You know,
Okay.
maid of honor has to still do her duties
Yeah,
and
yeah.
drop everything off.
Okay.
And we're like such a laid-back company because it takes so long. We don't force people to make decisions right away.
Okay.
So it's kind of like drop, run, deposit, and then go on your honeymoon and come back
Exactly,
and think
okay.
about what you need to do.
Okay.
Also, with our grief, it's not the time to make decisions when people walk in because
Totally.
fresh flowers are fresh grief. And so with our angel work, we tell everyone when you're ready.
a little bit of a tour that we were mentioning.
Yeah,
so
so
back
not many
here.
people get to go back here.
Okay.
So this is
Come on for a
staff
sneak peek.
only. So my husband builds all the boxes, him and his dad.
Okay, cool.
So when they're ready to finally be sealed, I put the obnoxious seal sign on, and then Rob has to come after
love that
work,
too.
and he knows. This is like my office. This was where I started resin, and then obviously ran out of space. We have another resin room. We have a basement where the messy stuff happens, so that's
Okay.
where all the drying happens,
Okay.
and then the attic runs the whole place, and that's where a lot of the flowers stay as they're going through the process.
Can we go in the attic?
Yeah, I don't know if that could be public though, but all the projects underway that are waiting for the girls to respond to me. So what happens is you get your shadow box or whatever work project we're working on, we send pictures, and then the customers get to decide exactly where everything goes.
Just tell me a little bit more about resin.
Let me show you the resin room.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is the resin room.
Wow.
Keeps going.
Yeah, you keep saying that? You're right.
Yeah. So this is our first freeze dryer. We have 5 coming on Tuesday.
Okay.
So this is resin. This is like our mixing station. So you mix resin, and then as you mix it, it has an exothermic reaction, so it heats, and that's how it becomes a solid. You can't pour too much because it will explode. But I'll show you some of the projects.
Yeah.
This is
Wow.
a project underway, still working on it. So you have to pour in layers, otherwise the flowers will burn. And then we'll pour a little bit and then sand the top and give it a good top coat.
A real sneak peek. I love this. And then this is the drying machine that you were saying?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll have, it's set up right now. We're gonna have a whole bunch of them.
Okay,
so
cool.
especially during wedding season, then the machines will just go on. And these are a bunch of resin projects that are been done or need to be top coated.
Cool.
We also make rosaries, which is like really
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll show you
cool.
some of those too. Lots of magic. And so my husband was always the one who saw my potential. I'm not much
Okay.
of a dreamer and a schemer.
Okay.
So he would be the one who was like, Chris, I don't think you're like seeing it as big as it
Yeah.
should be, you know?
Yeah.
And he still does that.
Yeah.
This year we did decide we did hire a crew to help a little bit because I was like, I don't know if I can handle everyone, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
anymore without, and I need a little bit of sleep. But
Yeah.
but yeah. So my husband was the one who kept pushing, and he was the one who built this all. We're coming up to 4 years being in here, February 26th, and I have the pictures from like when
Cool.
the first day, and
Cool.
I'm just like, what were we
Yeah.
thinking? But I'll show you the rosaries.
Yeah, cool.
Made from blue roses.
Wow.
So cool.
Wow.
And this is their special cross. We typically use the.
So these were flowers at one point. Got
So
it.
we take the flower, dry it, dye it, and then we grind it into. I explain it looks like pancake mix.
Okay.
Where you add water to pancake mix and you get something of substance.
Mm-hmm.
We add a hardener, like a resin hardener.
Got it.
It's a little bit more pliable, so we can make it into balls. And then we hand roll each ball, and then we cook them so they get hard, and then we glaze them. So.
I love the personal touch,
right?
and that's why they're like perfect. It's because it's not a machine, it's you doing it.
So a lot of people ask us, do you do already dried flowers? I regret not doing it, right? So
Okay.
let's say Mary has her bouquet still. So a lot of times you save a flower and just keep it off to the side. We can restore because we have the power of like dyeing.
I love that.
That is really cool. Like I don't think I have anything up right now that was restored, but we'll take dead old brown flowers,
Okay.
re-dye them,
Re-dye
bring
them,
back
and
to
then bring them
life.
back, yep.
And we can do that with the rosaries too. Like you can see these were really brown, and that's why the corn flaking in there is, is super brown because it was like a really old bouquet that we worked on.
So thank you so much for letting us come in today and seeing your amazing store. But for the people out there that are watching this, where can we find you? Where can we make an appointment so that everyone can have a piece of Don't Toss the Bouquet?
Yeah, so we're in Patchogue. We're up on Waverly Avenue, but we also have a really self-serving website. It's don'ttossthebouquet.com. Has everything there. You can make an appointment there. You can
super user-friendly website.
Yeah.
And one time I joked and mentioned to Krista, I was like, "So can you ask your website person to do this?" And she's like, "I am the website person."
Yes.
So it's super user-friendly.
Yeah, and you can go there, make an appointment, see the prices, see our options. Everything's
Cool.
there.
Awesome. Perfect.
You got it.
Cool.